So I was asked by someone in my community about starting from zero email subscribers. They brought up that most bundle collaborations want you to promote the bundle to your email list, but they don't have anyone on their email list yet. Now, this is such a good question and one that comes up often for moms in business who are new to email marketing, or just getting their feet wet with email marketing, and so it can kind of deter them from participating in any collaborations because they feel like, well, I don't have anyone on my email list. So I'm going to share three things I would do if I was starting over and building an email list from zero. Hey, mama. Welcome to Marketing Without Socials for Moms, the go-to podcast for moms in business who want to stop relying on social media to build their business and build it in a way that fits their current season of life. I'm your host, Andria, a wife, mama of two, and visibility strategist for moms. Each week, I'm giving you the inside scoop on how to increase your visibility, leads, and sales through podcasting, email marketing, and collaborations. Ready to truly make social media optional in your business? Grab your chai tea latte and let's dive into today's episode. Okay, so this is what I would do if I was building an email list from zero. The first thing I would do is create a high value lead magnet. Now, this high value lead magnet should solve one specific problem, and it doesn't have to be something you create from scratch. So if you have a resource that you use with clients that has gotten them results, make it available as a lead magnet. And let me specify here. I'm not saying, if you have a course, giving the whole course away for free. What I'm talking about is something like if you have a template or like one specific resource that you use with your clients. So to kind of give an example, I have what's called a content prompts doc. And basically it's a Google Doc that helps you kind of brain dump content ideas. And this can be for podcasts, emails, blogs, like any type of content you're creating essentially, but it follows the customer journey. So it's different type of content ideas for each stage of the customer journey. Now, that's something that I could technically make available as a lead magnet if I wanted to. Another thing I have a podcast analytics tracker that I created. That's something that I can make available as a lead magnet. It's something that I share with my clients. They use it, they see results and everything. So I'm not saying give away the whole thing, but if you're like, oh my gosh, I have to create a lead magnet, this is going to take so much time, look at the resources you already have created. Like, make it easy on yourself. Another thing you do is if you have a podcast and you have several episodes that focus on like a specific theme or topic, you can create a podcast playlist as a lead magnet. I have done this. I absolutely love doing this because, like I say, we create a lot of content as business owners, like especially if you have a podcast and you are like already in the double, triple digits as far as like number of episodes. People aren't always going to go back to your older episodes. And so this is a great way to, one, repurpose that content, but also get people going and listening to those older episodes. But it's still a high value resource. Like, as long as you're creating valuable content on your podcast, you can put together this podcast playlist and leverage it as a lead magnet. So that's like the first part of this. Then you want to make sure you actually promote that lead magnet. Promote it. And the other thing I would do is ask my network to promote it. So one, I would share about that lead magnet on the platforms I'm currently showing up on. And so this is actually how I initially started building my email list. I shared about my lead magnet on my podcast, on socials, and in Facebook groups where my ideal clients were hanging out. So some of the Facebook groups that I was part of, they would have like a weekly thread where you could share your lead magnet, or if someone asked a specific question that my lead magnet could answer for them or support them with, I would direct them to that lead magnet. if I got questions like in the DMs or via email on a topic, and if I had a lead magnet that related to that topic, I would drive people to that lead magnet. So promoting it, like when you create the lead magnet, you have to actually talk about it. You have to actually, in a sense, sell it. That's something I would do as far as like, okay, with the high value lead magnet. And then, like I said, asking my network to promote it. So, one thing I always encourage the mamas inside of the Social Media Detox Club to do is to reach out to their network and ask them to share, whether it's a lead magnet or a challenge or an event or something they're hosting, ask them to share about it with their audiences. So, usually this looks like an email swap, but if you're starting from zero, maybe you can't promote it to your email list, but maybe you have a podcast and you can promote it on the podcast. Maybe you have a pretty decent social media following and you can promote something of that person's, on your social profile or whatever. Like there's a way to, make it mutually beneficial for you and the person that you are essentially collaborating with. But to kind of give some examples. So one of the mamas inside of the Social Media Detox Club launched her podcast this month, and she was able to have me and a few other of the members who had a similar audience as her share about her podcast. And she ended up having over 120 listens to her podcast in the first 7 days of launching. Like, that's the power of leveraging your network. If she had done it on her own, like, yeah, she would have got listens, but having over, 120 people listen to her podcast just in that first 7 days is huge for a new podcaster. Another member, she's in the process of rebranding her podcast and is doing a relaunch and a giveaway with that relaunch. And so she is having women in her network share about this. But the best part is that she is actively growing her email list because for people to enter the giveaway, they have to basically sign up on this landing page and they get added to her email list. So they can be, one, entered into the giveaway, but then also have the updates about like when the podcast officially relaunches and all of that. But again, it's just little things like that. Like, I feel like we always forget to ask our network. And I know I am guilty of this. Like, I have such an amazing network. Like, I'm even just thinking about how I shared about the changes that are happening inside of the Social Media Detox Club, and few of the women who they are in my network, we've collaborated with before and everything, they're on my email list and they're like, hey, let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you need me to give you a shout out or anything like that. Like, the people in our network, they want to help us. They want to support us. They are invested in our success too. But we have to ask. We have to open up our mouths and ask and say, hey, I have this going on. Would you mind sharing about it with your audience? Like, if it's a good fit, share about it with your audience. Like, it really is that simple. But that's like a really great way to start growing your email list. Okay, the second thing is participating in collaborations. So, what I mean by this is like, there are some bundles out there that specifically state that they are okay with people who don't have anyone on their email list participating. And so instead of like, if your email list is at 0, instead of you promoting to your email list, you would promote on socials. Or again, if you have like a podcast or a YouTube channel, you would promote it on there. But if you don't come across a bundle in your niche that states that, like being the guidelines and everything, you have other options. So you can do podcast guesting and promote your lead magnet, or you can do speaking engagements like doing guest trainings inside of a membership or a mastermind and driving people to your lead magnet. These are still collaborations. These are still great ways to get in front of new audiences, but the key is to drive them to your lead magnet so they are getting on your email list. This is something that I see happen sometimes when, like, especially with podcast guesting, people will talk about their offers and how they can support them that way. but not driving people to a lead magnet. Like you want to get those people on your email list so you can continue that conversation with them, so you can continue to nurture and connect with them and everything. So that would be the second thing I would do if I was building my email list from zero. The third thing I would do is host an event. And what I mean by an event, this can be like a collaboration event, like hosting my own bundle or summit, or hosting a challenge or live workshop or masterclass. But this is honestly the quickest way to grow your email list. Whether you host a collaboration event or a solo event, you can grow your email list exponentially. You can also ask people in your network to share about this event and promote it on your other platforms. Like, I know hosting your own thing can feel like a lot, but there are ways to simplify it and make it manageable and everything. But truthfully, this will be the quickest way to grow your list. And one thing I want to note here, like with hosting your own event, you need to make sure that it is very specific, that it solves a specific problem, that it addresses a specific problem, that it focuses on a specific thing. Like where people mess up with hosting their own events is that either they try to stuff too much into that single event, or they're trying to reach the masses instead of really focusing in on who is it that I want to serve. So you really want to make sure you are super clear on that and not trying to speak to and reach everyone. These are really great ways. Like if you are someone where you're like, okay, I need to grow my email list. Like I need to get started with email marketing, but I literally have no one on my list. What do I do? These are three things you can easily do. And I don't want to say easily, like these are three things you can do simply. We're going to say it simply. But even like if you've already created a lead magnet and maybe you just haven't been promoting it, start promoting it. Like if you're on socials, start driving people, your social media following to your email list. Threads. Like I know I talk about threads a lot on here, but honestly, threads is the most low effort, low energy social media platform there ever was to be. Like, and the algorithm is not a hot mess. You will find your people on this platform. Like I was just talking to one of my former clients. We had a little like Zoom night, two moms catching up and all of that. But I was telling her too, like, get on threads, like you will find your people and stuff. I say like threads is really the best place for like visibility and lead generation. Now, yes, like you can promote your offers and people do, but I've seen it work best for like visibility and lead generation and really finding your people, like people who truly like connect with your messaging and are like share the same values as you and different things like that. But promoting your lead magnet, go off, sis. Go off. Like you will see people joining your email list. Like even just having the link in the bio, you will see that growth. But again, you have to promote that lead magnet. Like, and then asking your network, stop trying to do it all on your own. You have a network for a reason. Leverage that network. But as a recap, the three things I would do if I was building an email list from zero are create a high value lead magnet and promote it, as well as ask my network to share about it with their audience, participate in collaborations, and host my own events. Now, these are the exact strategies I teach inside of the Social Media Detox Club and support my club members with. So if you're starting your email list from zero, but don't know where to get started, come join us inside of the Social Media Detox Club. Part of the curriculum updates that I'm doing is I'm going to be including resources for planning and hosting your own virtual event. So it'll be for both like bundles and like if you want to do a summit as well as like audio summit. I'm putting together resources to kind of help with that and really simplify that process for you. Especially as I'm planning my own audio summit, and then I've planned and hosted my own bundle before too. But if you want to, like I said, really start focusing on email marketing and growing your email list, you need to join us inside the club. So head on over to mamaturnedmompreneur.com/membership to join us today. This is also linked below in the episode description and in the show notes. All right, Mama, I'll catch you in the next episode. Hey, Mama. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. I would love to keep the conversation going. So head to mamaturnedmompreneur.com/marketing without socials to join my email community. I share even more tips and strategies for building a business that doesn't rely on social media and one that fits your current season of life, as well as more behind the scenes of mom and business life. All right, Mama, that's it for today, but I'll catch up with you again next week.